Coming up on Around San Diego, a college student driving for DoorDash is being called a hero after stepping in to save a woman who was being chased by a man. Those moments all caught on camera. Our Steve Price shares the story. And Super Tuesday is around the corner, and Latinos are expected to turn out in record numbers here in California. Our Shannon Handy speaks with some of those voters on what issues matter most. Plus, a former Chula Vista City Councilwoman has pleaded guilty to 2 felony charges, all part of a plea deal. Those details straight ahead. Thanks so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in just 30 minutes. We do begin with your safety. A college student driving for DoorDash is being praised after he helped a woman in need, and it was all caught on camera. The man was driving when he saw a woman running from a man and begging for help. What happened next, you'll have to see for yourself. Here's CBS 8's Steve Price with the story.
A DoorDash driver on his way to picking up food for his next delivery got here to the end of the 8 and noticed something very disturbing. A man and a woman having a violent altercation. Instead of just driving away, he stopped to help. And what happened next, you have to see to believe.
She's screaming for help, help, help.
Angelo Montoya thought his presence would de-escalate the situation, but the 20-year-old sophomore at San Diego State was wrong.
The aggressor starts targeting me, telling me to mind my business. And I'm like, no, like, she's yelling for help. Back away from her, please. Like, back away from her or I'll call the cops.
Angelo says instead of backing away, the guy got closer.
He punched me through the window on my neck, and that's when I knew, okay, this is way more than I expected.
Angelo called 911 and told the woman to get in his car. As he was driving away, he thinks that's the end of it. But moments later, the camera on his Tesla catches this. The guy pulls in front of Angelo and comes at him again.
He gets out of his vehicle. I was so scared.
Angelo drives around him, but the guy gives chase. Angelo turns from Sunset Cliffs onto Cape May, and watch what happens next. The man slams his car into Angelo's, sending the Tesla into several parked cars.
I see him right behind me. I didn't know what to expect, and that's when he rammed into my vehicle from the left, making a lot of damage.
The guy ran away but was later arrested and charged with assault with a deadly weapon. The woman escaped without any serious injuries. And Angelo?
I had a lot of soreness to my neck, my lower back pain, and my calf on my right leg was hurting.
He was treated at the hospital and released, but his car is a total loss.
It was a Model 3 Tesla 2022. I almost had it paid off.
Angelo says he still gets nervous thinking about what happened, but knows it was the right thing to do. And if he sees another person in distress,
I would help again, but I don't know what to expect now. Just be ready for everything and anything.
In Ocean Beach, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Wow, just remarkable. Steve, thank you for sharing. Well, a former Chula Vista City Councilwoman, Andrea Cardis, and her brother Jesus entered guilty pleas Wednesday to felony charges admitting they defrauded the government. Andrea entered guilty pleas to 2 counts of grand theft. She also admits to lying on her application to EDD to collect unemployment benefits, and she admits to lying to the Small Business Administration to collect a PPP loan. Her brother Jesus Cardis entered guilty pleas as well. Andrea stepped down from her Chula Vista City Council seat just last week. Here's what her defense attorney told us outside the courtroom.
We went through the discovery, went through the thousands and thousands of pages of reports, and came to the conclusion that for her, as it relates to her, for her mental health, and more importantly for the community, that we put this to an end and we conclude this investigation.
Yeah, so Andrea could have her charges reduced to misdemeanors as early as her sentencing, while her brother must complete 2 years of probation before he can apply to have his felonies dropped to misdemeanors. Well, the growing problem of porch pirates stealing from a San Diego neighborhood has CBS 8 viewers pushing for stronger laws. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen is continuing to work for you. She talked with the captain on this case and with the district attorney.
Last week, we showed you this video of a woman named Kim stealing things from people's doorsteps in an Oak Park neighborhood. Bruce Thompson helped her out since she claimed she was homeless. He says since then, she's been terrorizing the neighborhood for over a year, vandalizing homes and harassing neighbors. She goes in and out of jail, then does it all over again. Now, Kim is currently in jail, awaiting her next hearing in April. Yet, Thompson fears she could be released again, and he wants changes made in the criminal justice system.
You know, the community is frustrated, but we're frustrated with them as well. And sometimes I think people take it out on us, not understanding that we're trying as much as we can do.
Today, I talked to San Diego Police Department's Captain Julie Epperson, who has been following the case intensively. She tells me overcrowding in jails and low staffing is a part of the problem.
Mail fraud, it's very prolific, unfortunately, in this county. There is a lot of package theft in this county. There's no way, and per staffing, there's no way with the staffing that the prosecutors have that they can individually prosecute every case. There's just no way.
Captain Epperson says in this case, a suspect like Kim gets arrested for a misdemeanor and released, and it becomes a cycle where they can't keep them in jail anymore.
It's out of our hands.
I reached out to the city attorney's office. They referred me to District Attorney Summer Steffen's office. Steffen told CBS 8, quote, "We are advocating for a change in the law that distinguishes first-time offenders from those who repeatedly violate the law and steal what doesn't belong to them. It's time our laws work to protect our neighborhoods. Currently, if you steal a package from a porch and the value of the contents is under $950, which most packages are, it's a misdemeanor, no matter how many times you commit that same crime. This needs to change."
But there has to be more immediate consequences so people feel it when they commit a crime.
Working for you, Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Ariana, thank you. Well, people can now sleep in their cars in the city of San Diego if they have nowhere else to go. That's the result of a class action lawsuit settlement released Monday. It's a significant move coming when so many are facing homelessness. So now, if all the city's safe parking lots are full, people sleeping in their vehicles overnight on city streets will no longer be cited. Tickets and fines between 2017 and February 2024 will also be forgiven. A man who has faced those fines before tells us they add up quickly.
It's so expensive when a vehicle is impounded.
By not finding them and making them and arresting them and criminalizing them, they're going to have much more opportunities to improve their situation.
Yeah, if there are any safe parking lot spaces available, though, people sleeping in their cars or RVs could still be cited. In a statement, the city of San Diego says this settlement is a positive step forward. And right now, people living in and near downtown are sharing concerns about public safety. More than 100 people met Monday night at the San Diego Neighborhood Coalition's community meeting. The meeting included people from East Village, Little Italy, and North Park. Many residents say they are reporting more harassment from homeless people.
I had to pull my car in front of a girl getting chased by two homeless people right where you get on the freeway. 22-year-old girl.
Yeah, the Little Italy Association says they hired private security in 2021 and 2022, but felt it wasn't getting to the root of the neighborhood's issues. They've since brought in the San Diego Rescue Mission, who is working with the unhoused on a daily basis, which some residents say is making a difference. Meanwhile, Escondido is now taking on a tough-on-crime approach when it comes to the city's homelessness problem. Wednesday night, the city council voted 4-1 to approve the new policy, which rejects the Housing First model. Residents took to the podium voicing their opposition to the new measure.
Housing First, well, Housing First works if there's housing, but right now there is not, which is why it is so difficult. You can't get sober on the streets.
Yeah, so however, this new policy does recognize that the Housing First model is effective for senior citizens who are priced out of the housing market. And a property owner is suing the city of Del Mar for the right to build hundreds of new housing units on her land. The land includes 7 acres just north of Dog Beach. A developer wants to build an apartment complex with more than 250 apartments, including about 40 lower income units. Now, just 2 are extremely low income, making them affordable for families making just $41,000 a year. But the city is refusing to approve the project. We talked to the executive director of a local nonprofit centered around affordable housing. He points out that this project could diversify Del Mar, which is 83% white.
It's not just good for the families that move into Del Mar, but it's also good for the current families in Del Mar to live with more diversity.
Yet Del Mar city officials tell us they can't comment on active litigation. The city is proposing other affordable housing further away, closer to the fairgrounds. Super Tuesday now right around the corner. A new numbers show Latinos will turn up in record numbers. CBS 8's Shannon Handy gives us a breakdown and talks with voters about the issues that matter most to them.
According to the latest projections, at least 4.8 million Latinos in California will cast their ballots this coming November. That's up more than 6% over 2020.
18-year-old Andrea and 19-year-old Juliana are among the millions of Americans voting for the first time this year.
As a citizen, we can make an impact in our country. So it's one of the things that we can control ourselves.
Both acknowledge the importance of voting, saying they're proud to be part of the growing number of Latinos doing so.
We've always had a lower voter turnout just because we have never been really encouraged to vote, and now that we have kind of that right, I think it's important that we take advantage of it.
According to the National Association of Latino Elected and Appointed Officials Educational Fund, Latino turnout in California is expected to grow by 6.1% compared to 2020 and 44% compared to 2016, with the Latino share of voters now projected to be 28.4%.
So this means 1 out of 4 voters will be Latino in 2024 general election.
Dorian Cal with Noleo Educational Fund says one of the key factors for that increase is population growth, specifically those now old enough to vote.
We know that Latinos are a younger community, so those that are turning of age, but are also citizens and are also eligible to register and vote is also increasing.
And it's not just in California, it's a trend nationwide.
So Georgia, I think, is a great example. North Carolina, Oregon. Certainly, we know there's a large population in Florida, but even in places where we would consider battleground states, right? In Nevada, where the population of Latinos not only continues to grow, but has grown tremendously the last few decades.
Because of this, Cal says Latinos have the power to impact elections. So it's important for campaigns to not only educate them on voting protocols, such as key dates and registration info, but also engage them on issues they care about most.
The immigration system is not very well structured and there's a lot of flaws.
Definitely equality. Lately there's been a lot of issues in the LGBT community, so making sure that we're all just one community and definitely involving minorities that have been suppressed for so long, that's most important to me.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Shannon, thanks. Well, San Diegans are already casting votes for the March primary. One item on the ballot, California Proposition 1, a multi-billion-dollar bond. Under Prop 1, California would borrow $6.4 billion. $2 billion of that would be spent on homelessness, while the rest of the money would pay for new facilities for mental health and addiction treatment. It's a statewide bond, so it only needs a simple majority to pass. The money would come from the state's general fund. Several more bond-related measures will likely make it to the November ballot. And you can vote now in person for the 2024 presidential primary. More than 200 voting centers are now open across San Diego County. Again, Election Day is this Tuesday, March 5th. All voting centers, ballot drop boxes, and the registrar's office are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. To find a location near you and important election dates, head to CBS8.com. Well, City Attorney Mara Elliott says that she wants to strengthen laws to protect reproductive rights in San Diego after Alabama's state Supreme Court ruled frozen embryos have the same rights as children. The city attorney's office says it's been nearly 3 decades since laws have been updated regarding patients who seek out reproductive care. Elliott says she wants to update laws protecting patients against harassment if they go to a clinic, including increasing the amount of distance allowed between a protester and a patient.
You will see that these protests get very uncomfortable on both sides, and people do not feel that they can access care. That is absolutely unacceptable.
Elliott says she plans to introduce an ordinance on this at the next Public Safety Committee meeting. And the IRS says it is extending the federal tax deadline for families affected by all that recent flooding. Now the state has made a similar announcement about state taxes. If you were impacted by the floods, you may have until June 17th to file state tax returns. The relief is applied to anyone with an IRS address of record in the disaster area. We have put a link to the IRS website on our help button on CBS8.com. Coming up, it may be small, but one local eatery is making a big impression on taste buds, and it's all getting national recognition on Yelp. We'll take you to Sunnyside Kitchen next. Welcome back. A hole-in-the-wall restaurant is making a big impression in Escondido. CBS 8's Brian White shows us why Sunnyside Kitchen ranks number 3 in the nation on Yelp's Top 100 list.
The next time you're passing through Escondido on Orange Street here, don't blink. You might miss the best breakfast place you've ever tried. And they're getting national recognition.
The food is amazing. I just like the food, the creative things they do with different ingredients. I totally recommend it.
Welcome to Sunnyside Kitchen, where they're all about these delicious panini sandwiches, but that's not all they do well.
We got salads going. Our Tuscan chicken salad is one of our most popular, as is the Cobb.
I love it. I come here for their crustless quiche that is amazing.
And their fresh lemonades are made to order and hand shaken. And the quaint mom and pop style atmosphere is what customers love about this place.
It's small, it's homey, the people are so wonderful.
I like it because it's a hometown shop, a mom and pop shop. That's the whole reason I come.
And if you didn't know, now you know. One of Escondido's best kept secrets.
It's just very Escondido, just tucked in here, and you have to kind of know about it, so I like that.
Landing number 3 in the nation on Yelp's Top 100 restaurants, the Sunnyside secret is getting out.
Number 3? No, I did not know that. That's wonderful. I mean, what a place in Escondido, no less.
Owners Kathy and Bob Carpenter opened the place in 2015. They wanted it to feel like a home away from home.
Our customers are basically the heart of Sunnyside. I mean, if without them, we wouldn't have any of these accolades. No one would know about us on Yelp. So our customers are everything to us.
So if you haven't tried it, you might want to, because rain or shine, they always keep it on the sunny side. How would you rate the place?
A+. I'd say it's number 1. It should be number 1, not number 3 on that list.
They're open Monday through Saturday from 6:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. In Escondido, Brian White, CBS 8.
Maybe these might need some springy movers.
Yeah, that 5-year-old is talking about the spring riders at Emerald Hills Park that don't even move. Right now, people in Encanto say the park is severely outdated and in need of repairs. We noticed a dented metal slide, which can be dangerous on hot days. The climbing structure also had rust and chipped paint. The sports courts also were cracked.
A little run down, old, probably built in '78 when the houses were built around here.
Yeah, everyone talks about how run down the playground equipment is here.
Yeah, the Emerald Hills Town Council chair tells us the neighborhood was set to get a new park years ago, but progress has been slow because there's simply not enough money for it. The city website lists the park as a to-be-determined project, but no set date yet. We reached out to a spokesperson and are still waiting for an update. Well, a local nonprofit alongside the city of Chula Vista welcomed a woman to her fully decorated new home this week. Crystal recently moved out of the city's homeless shelter and moved into permanent residence. Thanks to humble designs in the city of Chula Vista, Crystal left her home early Thursday morning and return to a complete transformation. It was fully furnished at no cost to her.
I still can't believe that I have all of you guys here as my support system. Like 5 months ago, I felt like I had nobody.
Crystal is calling this a second chance for herself. She's now studying social work at Southwestern College and also works there part-time. Well, coming up, what new research is revealing about the monarch butterfly population in Mexico and what you can do to keep them around. That's up next in an Earth 8 report. Well, in this Earth 8 report, our Sean Stiles takes a look at a recent study on the eastern monarch butterfly population. These are the butterflies that spend winter in the mountains of Mexico, and then the research shows a dramatic decline in their population.
We've talked about the Pacific or Western monarch butterfly population and how it's been decimated over the years, down nearly 99% since the 80s. Now some new research has come out on the Eastern monarch population, the ones that fly from Mexico to Canada and back. Those numbers are extremely troubling. The eastern monarch butterfly that spends its summers in the Midwest and Canada and then migrates back to the mountains of Mexico to winter has seen a dramatic decline in its population over the past 2 decades, especially from last year to this year, according to conservation scientists who held a news conference in Mexico City in early February. Researchers looked at the Oyamel fir forest in south central Mexico and found that just 2.2 acres were being used for roosting as compared to 5.5 acres last year. Gloria Tavera is the Director of Conservation at the National Commission to Protect Natural Areas, and she says this is the second smallest count compared to 2013-14, the smallest ever.
When we had a decrease of 0.67 hectares in the Oyamel fir forest and the sanctuaries at the state of Mexico and Michoacan, 10 years later there is again, for the second time, a considerable drop in the forest occupation of the colonies.
A hectare is equal to just under 2.5 acres, which means the loss compared to last year is over half the population surveyed. It's estimated that 21 million monarch butterflies roost in a hectare, so the count went down to less than 19 million.
This represents a 59.3% decrease in monarch population with respect to the area it occupied during the 2022-2023 season of 2.21 hectares.
Adan Pena is the head of the Commission of Protected Areas and says a lot of the loss is due to the use of chemicals.
We are going to take action in this corridor to prevent land use change and the use of toxic agrochemicals. Particularly glyphosate and others, according to science, are also affecting the environment.
Glyphosate is a weed killer and is used in farming, around landscape, homes, and businesses. It kills just about all plants, which include milkweed and nectar-producing plants, both crucial to the survival of monarchs. The United States and Mexico are working closely with Canada to help save the monarch butterflies. Gregory Mitchell is a research scientist at the Environment and Climate Change Canada.
I'm very confident that given all of the research and all of the work that we've done together across the 3 countries, that we have a lot of the knowledge and a lot of the evidence base right now to begin conservation action and to begin to reverse the declines of the monarch and conserve the monarch population.
I know what you're thinking, that one person can't make a difference, but one person can. If you try planting a little bit of nectar-bearing flowers in your garden, put milkweed in your garden, use less toxic herbicides, maybe pull some weeds instead. We can all make a difference, because if we don't start doing something right now, these beautiful creatures could go the way of the dinosaur. Sean Stiles, Earth 8.
Yeah, they are so beautiful. We've got to do our part. Sean, thank you. Well, that'll do it for us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for staying informed. We do have more rain on the way. Stay safe. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care.